The unknown zone.
Talk show, talk show.
Zone unknown.
Talk show, talk show.
How the hell you find it?
In your overpriced high-tech telephone.
Deep in your bones.
Underneath a pile of stones.
It's some kind of virus. Deep in your nose, in between your toes, smack dab in the middle of your split crotch pantyhose. The unknown show.
Talk show, talk show.
The unknown show.
Talk show, talk show.
The unknown zone.
Talk show.
But I've actually made a choice. If you're gonna if you're gonna date a woman, you have to go, all the way. Make sure the place is nice. You do a little homework. You make sure that she and you have a good time, or don't even go. Don't go there thinking, oh, why am I here? What should I be doing? Then she's wondering, what is so good? A good time.
I'm going to ask you a question because I do talk a lot about me, mostly, and since you're talking about dating, which is always a very welcome topic on the Unknown Zone Talk Show. Right, Phil?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially Yvonne's dating.
Oh, God, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So, but I'm always curious of the male's perspective. So when you say women like to be taken out and
yes.
that. So when you like someone and you want to go out with them, what's like your walk me through the process?
Okay, well, for me, I'll walk you through the process.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing before you start, because my curiosity is always, it's not just about getting laid.
Correct.
Especially at an older age, let's say, a more mature age. Continue.
Correct.
Go ahead.
It's never really about just getting laid, because if you're dumb enough as a dude, you think it's just about getting laid, unless you're like a traveling salesman. But now with videos and social media, nobody's safe from anything.
True.
But as far as dating, I'm not very good at it. But what I am good at is when I meet when I say good, like the great one, like in the movie The Bronx Tale.
Good woman.
Well, the good woman. Now, it doesn't mean there are bad women out there. I just mean good for me. The Bronx Tale had a, it's been easier, it's been simpler, but not easier for women because, knight in shining white armor. I mean, but the guy is like, well, what type of woman do I want? I don't know, someone that doesn't bust my balls. I mean, what do we have? So,
that's a good start.
but what guys sometimes don't realize is that a woman that would bust your balls isn't necessarily a ball buster. Maybe you're just not doing the right thing. Maybe you're not
Correct.
just buying her a fucking box of chocolate, you cheap bastard.
You got to pay attention.
Right. So
got to put some effort into it.
Right. So, but there are some people, in this case, some women that are just plainly difficult, and obviously, guys that are difficult are a little more dangerous.
No, men are perfect.
No. Well, maybe me and Phil are, but that's about it.
Not even close.
Right. So the whole dating thing for me is what I tell guys is that go somewhere that you would be happy going, even if she's not there. Meaning, bowling or something. If the woman, this is just a generalization.
Yeah, I'm going to make fun of you. Don't worry.
This is your opinion. Let's point that out.
I have comments.
If you're having a good time, if you're being yourself, that's going to put less doubt in her mind about you. For example, baseball games. If you're a baseball fan and you take her to a baseball game and there are nice seats and you treat her nice, and that could be a very exciting evening. Now, it doesn't mean take her to Comic-Con if she doesn't like comics.
Oh, if you ever took me to Comic-Con, I would cut you.
There you go. So basically, if she likes to bicycle ride, you can go for a bike ride, along the river. Sometimes when I was in California for a little while, the nice thing about places like San Diego is you can do shit for free and just see have the most beautiful views in the world, pretty much, almost. So you try to do things that you enjoy doing. Otherwise, you don't want to do something that you're not enjoying. Now,
Okay, right.
now to put that aside, that doesn't necessarily apply if you're looking to start a family, because you have another.
Oh, slow down. I got to interrupt you. Slow down.
Slow down.
I
You
must
move too
interject.
fast.
I must interject. Interesting idea to do something that you like. However,
Yes.
I partly agree with that. Now,
I'll take that. That's acceptable.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you why.
Uh-huh.
Partly,
I can't just be 100% right on that one.
I said men were great. I did say men were great.
Yeah, you said it, but I don't know if you mean it.
I didn't mean it.
There you go.
Well, it sounds to me like a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah. You're allowed to stay.
Before hose. Anyway.
You're allowed to stay.
However, what I found interesting about that statement is I did once you said I wouldn't take her to Comic-Con because most women would you didn't say this.
No, I said if she didn't like Comic-Con.
Yes.
Most women would not like Comic-Con, just for the record.
Okay.
For the but let me complete. I wonder, I think it's good. I think authenticity is very important. I'm going to agree with you on that, being yourself.
Am I going to get over the 50% accepting?
Yeah, well, I'm getting there.
Right now, Phil, I'm feeling like this being
right.
total loser to total. Yes. Right now, I'm over here.
It just felt a little selfish in the sense that I didn't see where she came into the picture, where you might want to find out.
I'm dying, Phil. I'm dying.
I might want to find out what her interests are. Like, you're not just meeting someone. You're not just going on like Match.com or something. You know, you're having a little interaction before, so you have ideas of what, ideas of what you both like, correct?
Well, I feel like a German U-boat with a U.S. destroyer approaching fast, and all I want to say is, alarm!
Man overboard! Man overboard!
No, of course. But basically, I'm just speaking from the guy's point of view.
Sure,
you don't want to go someplace that you hate.
Right. Okay, but wait. Let's roll back. I want to go back. So you asked the woman out. That was very good.
I'm not going to a comedy club with a date sitting in the front row. I'm not doing it.
Okay, I didn't. Who said that?
No, something I hate.
Okay, got it. No, I'm not saying you should do something you hate.
No, but that's what I mean.
Okay, so you're talking to a woman. You're getting to know someone online. Let's say
most likely a woman. You never know these
whatever
days.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
You're on the phone. This is phone. I always do this.
Yeah. Ravon always does it.
Yeah. And which I always mess up the phone.
Yeah. I was a mime in my last life, so that's why I do that. Right. So you're talking, and are you the one you're asking her out? So are you the one that plans a date without any input from her whatsoever?
Well, the first dates are not good because they're awkward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're very awkward. To me, it's not about money, because I'll spend thousands on a bicycle, and I'll spend good money on a meal. But if I don't know who I'm going with, then we both have to hang out for like an hour, 2 hours.
Did you hear my question? Did you hear? I don't think you heard my question.
Okay, sorry, say it again.
I said if you were getting to know the person a little bit on the phone, so you knew each other's interests, are you deciding on your own where you're going, or is it like a mutual, hey, do you want to do this? Okay, that sounds good. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting question, because you're presupposing that I wouldn't necessarily find out a little bit about her before the date, meaning a slight hint of narcissism on my end.
Well, that's how you presented it. So
right. But what that does is that makes one appear not to be concerned. My assumption is that, of course, I'm going to be concerned about the other person, but you have to start somewhere. So, of course, you find out. The main thing is just to go and talk somewhere. The second date, you and I would be on the same page. But for the first date, all I want to do is go somewhere, grab a cup of coffee, a bike ride, a soda, chat a little bit, Go see maybe improv comedy. I would sit in the front row.
I used to do improv.
Yeah, I did a little bit. So that's what I would do. But there's a preconceived notion on the part of many people when they're asking a question that the other person is a particular way, which is, oh, they would do that. No, everything's on the table. But the first thing is, I'm a huge supporter of simplicity. Dates are complicated. Now, if you're Orthodox Jewish, for example, dates are incredibly complicated.
I don't give a shit about. I'm talking about you, Geoff. You're on my show right now.
Right. So for me, it's about simplicity.
Okay. See, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yes. And I just want the woman I'm with to have fun, have a good time.
Right.
I want to have a good time. It's like when I teach. I'm also a teacher. I forgot to mention that. I teach special needs kids.
Oh, wow.
And I'm there all day. I need to be having a good time.
Well, listen, when I go on a date, I want to have fun and I want to laugh.
Right. So
I'm not there because you were talking about, you went from going on a first date to what if I want to start a family, and that's why I had to stop you.
That's different. But
you jump like 4 months ahead.
Not really.
4 months.
No.
I know, 2 years ahead. I got anxious.
No, I know. But here's the thing. I'm not Orthodox Jewish, but I hang with those boys.
Okay.
The Orthodox want to get married. You can't get married fast enough if you're Orthodox.
I know.
So they don't care about any of that stuff. They just
Well, that's a whole other world. I mean,
they could walk through barbed wire and they're barefoot, but if their marriage is on the other end in family, they'll be like, yeah, it was worth it.
Right. Well, and don't they go to prostitutes with sheets and shit? I mean,
now, in all fairness,
I don't think they use sheets.
Some of the guys do. But all religious, anyone who adheres to a very strict religious code is going to need an outlet. You can't.
I'm scared right now. Listen to me. Stop one. We're good. We're about to. It's going to end because I do the free Zoom. Will you come back and can we continue for a little longer?
Of course.
Okay, let's go.
That's
the most he's ever played on the show.
So they stole that riff, and also Shocking Blue. Remember Venus? God is on the mountain top. Not the Bananarama version.
Burning like a silver flame.
Yeah, that guitarist, he admitted he stole that riff from the Beatles.
Well, all musicians take something from somewhere.
I know, but
nothing's original. Nothing's. It's like when you write a play.
I know. I guess I gotta just get over it.
You gotta get over it, man. Listen, we're not getting younger. You know what I'm saying?
So let's wrap up the dating thing. So
yeah, let's wrap it up. I'm really curious. I have a couple things I want to talk about. I want to figure out what Bill Gates does for fun, and I also have another thing about predicting people's futures that we now know have passed, like in a weird way, and like what a prediction might have been, back in the day. So continue with your dating. So
the main thing is I can't give women advice on dating other than don't go anywhere you feel unsafe. That's pretty much
I wasn't asking you for dating advice. I was asking about you on a date.
No, that's what I mean. I want to narrow down my point of view.
Okay.
I can't give women advice or tips. Just be happy, feel safe, and that's it.
Great. I think that's a great way to wrap it up.
Pretty much.
Go with an open mind. How about that?
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. For me, it's simple. But for a guy, you have to. Women will pick up on insincerity, and you have to just be sincere. You have to
absolutely. Well, I have a therapist who said, this helped me very much. She said, if in your mind it's a maybe, it's a no.
I agree.
Because when two people know they want to be, when you have that chemistry and you like to talk to the person a lot, that's what I'm looking for. Then we see where it goes, and we work it out. Right.
Genuinely interested from a guy's point of view in the person you're sitting across from, and just look to be caring and loving, and just the woman wants to feel safe and secure that you're there because you want to be there.
Because you want to be there.
You got her back.
Right there. because you both want to be there, and then you're willing to put in the effort.
Right. That's it. Just be sincere.
Right.
Be sincere, and like Dale Carnegie said, take a genuine interest in the other person.
Right. Because you want to. And you know what? It's in a way you need to know that, but you also, if you're already interested, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
I always ask Phil this question because he's been in a long-term marriage. Was that the beginning of your relationship where you both wanted to be there and you were genuinely interested and you would do whatever?
Of course.
And
Absolutely.
now, and then the sustaining is the problem.
That's the hardest part of all.
The hardest part. Are you reading something, Geoff? You got something there?
I wanted to make sure I have my notes in front of me. That's all.
Okay.
Notes?
Jeff,
What kind of notes?
I have a question for Jeff.
Please.
So I'm going to date myself. So if you're on a date or a couple dates and you, instead of say, come back to my house to see my etchings, you say, come back and see my bicycle wheels.
Well, that's a good point. Different spokes for different folks. That's cheesy.
And then they run for the hills.
Pretty much. Well, the thing is,
Not if they want to be there.
you know, if I wanted to make room in my life for that special person, maybe I would have one or two less bicycles. That's also a thing. So there you go. I don't blame the
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Ladies, he's willing to sacrifice, ladies.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'll sell some parts, whatever. But no, what I need is more space. That's what I need. So
All right, let's move on. So, thank you. And thank you for that, Jeff. I appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Okay. I love men. So,
We love you too. I've spoke to all 10 of them outside, and they're giving you the thumbs up.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, you know, I always like to talk about this stuff, but I do want to end on a perhaps fun note. Perhaps. And I do want to ask you, so when you teach comedy, do you teach stand-up? A total non sequitur.
No, I taught stand-up. What I teach people is that when you start doing comedy, it's more about avoiding mistakes than doing things correctly.
Okay.
Because if you make mistakes, people get distracted. There you go. People get distracted and they focus on that. It's like that's one of the reasons why maybe, these news media outlets are successful. They hook people. So you want to try to avoid hooking people. If you're a dude, you don't want to, bash women, or gays. You don't want to hook people. You want to just keep it straight and narrow when you start. You want to shoot straight. You want to stand, unless you're an animated, you want to stand as still as possible. Otherwise, people will be like, why is she moving around? I can't follow her. Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to get up and drink your water?
Well, yes and no. That's a good point. If you're that poised, you can reach over. You can have some notes on a stool. That's a good thing. So I told people, make it easy. When you're starting your first show, have some notes on a stool, have a glass of water you can go over to, but make it simple. 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Don't talk dirty unless you're very good at it. If you're great,
I'm good at it. That's my specialty.
If you're great at being filthy, then be
Would
genuine.
you say I'm filthy, Phil? Phil, would you say I'm filthy? How would you describe me? Comedy-wise?
Maybe 60% filthy. I don't think you're really that filthy, to be honest with you.
I guess not. I think I'm a provocateur, and I'm a little bit of I have a little bit of the shock value.
Okay, now almost anything goes. So just be true to yourself. Try not to.
Yeah, Jeff.
Go on.
Jeff, I also
Sorry,
think since you don't have anything on YouTube or anything or video, I think you saved yourself a chance to be outdone or canceled by the cancel culture. So you have
That's another thing. Now, for the first time in perhaps in known history, you're better off not being known because people can just suddenly destroy you because they feel like it.
That's why we're in the best place we could possibly be, Phil. The unknown zone.
That's right.
Right?
And they can let them try and cancel us. That's ridiculous.
Fuck you.
Go look at my history.
Fuck you.
The cancel culture thing is quite disgusting. I gave a comedian a pass because he posted something about Dr. Seuss. There was a picture and there's a character of a Chinaman. This should not be shown to any children. I'm like, all right, I'll give you a pass on that. But I grew up watching Dr. Seuss. I'm not damaged. So, well, maybe. But
Yeah, but not in that way. I'm not racist.
I
I watch
read
Bugs
Dr.
Bunny.
Seuss.
Bugs
Yeah, I
Bunny.
read Dr. Seuss, and I saw those images. Did I think you're going to tell me subconsciously I think bad of them? It's ridiculous.
No,
You're
it's okay.
taught that. You're taught that stuff.
Phil and
So
I
I
play
gave-
poker. Phil and I play poker with Chinese people. We're not racist.
Now, what the cancel culture
They'll say that's racist because you said it.
Asian. I'm sorry, Asian.
But these cancel culture freaks, these extremists, who I hope to be able to put an end to them, whether by myself or with someone else, they are impatient. Now, through evolution, certain characters get moved out. The Jews in, pre-fascist Germany used to, as comedians, lampoon themselves. Then they stopped. Black comedians stopped lampooning themselves, mainly with Stepin Fetchit. That's where it ended. He didn't want to give racists fodder. Unfortunately, he really didn't get any work after that, but he took it on the chin. So through evolution, natural occurrences, Pepe Le Pew might have gotten, eased out, but just not out of control measures, just out of, we have other characters here. So that's the cancel culture. And I would even say, the hard right at some point must have done similar things, but now it's the far left.
Oh,
They have infiltrated, even the comedy business, and the comedy and entertainment business brought them up, but now they're suffering. Good for Sarah Silverman, who finally woke up and said, I don't really like you guys very much. I don't want to be part of your party. I was wondering when certain people were going to wake up.
Exactly.
And I didn't disrespect her, but I didn't have respect for her, meaning, she's part of this hard left movement. God bless her. I'm not interested. But now she finally woke up.
Exactly. And Geoff,
good for her.
I agree 1,000%. And this is the bottom line. Party, whatever, listen to what they're saying and doing. And if it doesn't make sense, I don't have a blind allegiance to someone who's hurting people or trying to censor people or keep us down or mandate things. I mean, fuck you. I'm not getting, and she finally, and this is, I think what happened to a lot of comedians, like very well-known comedians, is they entered a bubble. And they don't really see what's going on for, I don't want to say the common man, but like all of us. And, because they're in a bubble, which, I don't even know if that is self-imposed or, partly put upon in a way, whereas what is comedy is pointing out the truth and being able to laugh at it. And what I believe the politician, the government, it has been trying to do, it's at a point where if you make fun of what's really going on, you're like a fucking renegade instead of just a comedian. Like people are afraid, like that, people I find are either afraid or they buy the bullshit. Like I'm going to get a V and everything's going to, I had a comedian. You ready for this? I kind of know, not really what, like in the middle, whatever. In the beginning of this pandemic, and I only do that so Phil smiles.
Wow.
And in the middle, and I was, I'm an anti-V. So I was saying, whatever, don't take it, or the lockdowns are not, whatever. And he said to me, he was so terrified. He said to me on Facebook, he goes, I hope you and your family get COVID and die.
Yeah, that's a left-wing extremist.
Holy shit. So I blocked him. I was like, I actually I had to pray for him because that was so stupid. In my mind, I wasn't worried about anything.
Yeah, that's just an extremist. They bought the line, hook, line, and sinker.
Yes.
It's just it's the brainwash. You repeat something often enough, people believe it. I have very intelligent people in my family and in my circle of friends that just, they bought that line. Now I have good friends that are that are like moderate Democrats. A very good friend of mine. He's moderate. I'm moderate. We get along. He doesn't agree with me. I don't agree with him. But we give each other space and respect.
Nice.
And that's what moderates do. But a big problem is, and this we could talk about for hours.
Sure.
Because the colleges, the education system has been breeding these extremists.
Mm.
And there is a reason for that, in my opinion. Not everybody's going to be a millionaire and a billionaire.
Right.
You know, a very small percentage, the 1%er perhaps. Now, if you're teaching college classes, you're going to have a lot of angry people that when they get out, they're only earning minimum wage, right? So you have to sell these crap courses that aren't technical, that aren't going to give you any sort of a heads up or a foothold in life. As far now, these people that learn code, that's smart. Being a plumber, that's smart. Electrician, oh yeah. So, but these people learning the humanities, of which I graduated, learning humanities, some science, they're not going to earn much money. So the colleges have to condition them to think that everybody else is bad and wrong. You're not going to make a lot of money and you'll live an unfulfilled life financially, but here's why. So they breed this revolutionary mentality into the kids' head to sell these bullshit classes that someone could learn just by reading a book. And then they create this type of rhetoric, this type of jargon in these courses. And that's what the far left does. They label you and they weaponize language. So that's another reason how all of these far left people came about. We have to make people happy and satisfied with the fact that they are going to live a meager existence, unsatisfied, unfulfilled, never be terribly wealthy, live in an apartment, have less than their parents did, and here's who to blame. The rich white guy.
Instead of find something you're good at that you perhaps even like to do,
Right.
and make whatever the money is, but enough, at least enough. Not everyone has to be a millionaire or a billionaire. I went to college. I went to NYU for acting. I was, of course, told of the percentage that become famous or whatever. But throughout my years, yeah, sure, that was a possible goal that I would have hoped for because I was told that that's the definition of success back in the day. However, a true artist does what they do, whether it's comedy, painting, singing, acting, dancing, whatever, because it's part of who they are. And I've continued it my whole 170 years because it's
The unknown zone.
Talk show, talk show.
Zone unknown.
Talk show, talk show.
How the hell you find it?
In your overpriced high-tech telephone.
Deep in your bones.
Underneath a pile of stones.
It's some kind of virus. Deep in your nose, in between your toes, smack dab in the middle of your split crotch pantyhose. The unknown show.
Talk show, talk show.
The unknown show.
Talk show, talk show.
The unknown zone.